Did you know the name Manipur, the Jewel Land, was officially adopted more than 300 years ago, and that it happened during one of the most transformative reigns in Northeast India's history, the era of King Gharib Niwaz, also known as Pamheiba? His rule didn't just shape Manipur's politics, it reshaped its identity, religion, and even the very name by which we know the land today. Let's journey back to the early 18th century, to a time when this beautiful land was on the brink of change. Before it was called Manipur, this region was known by several ancient names: Kangleipak, Meitei Leipak, and in some chronicles, Maitrabak. These weren't just words, they reflected the cultural soul of the Meitei people, a kingdom nestled in the lush Imphal Valley, surrounded by hills, lakes, and warriors, united by a vibrant culture and ancient traditions. But the early 1700s were not peaceful times. The region faced internal rivalries, external threats from the Burmese kingdom, and religious transitions that would forever change its destiny. Pamheiba was born in 1690, the son of King Charirongba. From a young age he was trained in statecraft and warfare. He ascended the throne in 1709, at a time when Manipur was expanding its borders and building alliances. Pamheiba was ambitious, charismatic, and deeply influenced by the spiritual ideas spreading from Bengal, ideas that would soon become central to Manipur's transformation. One of the most defining moments in Manipur's history came when Shantidas Gosai, a Vaishnavite missionary from Sylhet, present-day Bangladesh, arrived at the royal court. He introduced Gaudiya Vaishnavism, a devotional movement centered around Lord Krishna and Vishnu. Pamheiba embraced this faith with passion. In 1717, he formally adopted Vaishnavism, and with it, took a new royal name, Gharib Niwaz, meaning protector of the poor. This wasn't just a spiritual shift, it was a civilizational turning point. Temples dedicated to Krishna and Vishnu began to rise. Traditional deities were integrated or replaced. Rituals, songs, and dances evolved to reflect the new devotion, giving birth to what we now know as the Ras Leela tradition of Manipur. Gharib Niwaz's rule wasn't only religious, it was cultural and administrative. Under his reign, the Meitei script, known as Meitei Mayak, saw a temporary decline, as Bengali script was promoted for court and religious texts. The architecture changed, royal rituals changed. Even clothing styles adapted to Vaishnavite symbolism. This blending of local traditions with Hindu practices began to forge a new identity for the kingdom, one that looked both inward and outward. It was during this period that the concept of Manipur, the land of jewels, gained official recognition. The name Manipur first appears in official records during Gharib Niwaz's reign, derived from the Sanskrit words mani, jewel, and pur, city or land. It literally means land of jewels. But why this name? Because in the Vaishnavite scriptures, particularly the Mahabharata, there's a mythical kingdom called Manipur, ruled by King Chitravahana and his daughter Chitrangada, who married Arjuna, one of the Pandava brothers. King Gharib Niwaz, influenced by the Sanskritization of culture, embraced this name to align his kingdom with the sacred geography of Hindu mythology. By adopting Manipur, he gave the kingdom both divine prestige and cultural continuity, connecting it to the wider Indic world while maintaining his own uniqueness. But Gharib Niwaz was not just a spiritual reformer, he was also a formidable warrior. He led successful military expeditions into Burma, Myanmar, even capturing parts of the Kabul Valley. These campaigns were fierce, expanding Manipur's influence far beyond its traditional borders. In doing so, he established Manipur as a regional power, earning the respect and fear of neighboring states. However, not everyone welcomed these changes. Many Meiteis who followed the ancient Sanamahi and Umang Lai traditions resisted the imposition of Vaishnavism. The royal order to destroy traditional manuscripts and shrines created lasting pain, a chapter often referred to as the Puya Meithaba, the burning of sacred texts. This act divided the spiritual fabric of Manipur, leaving a legacy of debate and introspection that continues even today. When King Gharib Niwaz passed away in 1748, he left behind a kingdom transformed. Manipur had a new name, a new faith, and a new sense of identity. He turned Kangleipak into Manipur, a jewel of cultural fusion between indigenous traditions and Vaishnavite philosophy. His reign marked the beginning of Manipur's documented history in the larger Indian narrative. Temples, rituals, dances, and even festivals like Ras Leela and Yao Shang trace their lineage to this golden era. So, when you hear the name Manipur, remember, it's not just a name. It's the echo of a king's dream to shape his land into something divine. A land that shines, not just with jewels, but with faith, resilience, and history. Because names are not just words, they are stories. And Manipur is the story of a kingdom reborn under the vision of King Gharib Niwaz. This is the story of how Kangleipak became Manipur, the land of jewels,